Hi everyone, hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for joining me for this video. I am Jason and welcome to Tarot by the Pines. I am your springy host for this Chanel. Folks, it is springtime here on the East Coast. I don't know about your neck of the woods, but it is springtime here. So I figured I would try to create an ambiance of spring. I have a meadow of flowers that are springing, they're sprouting, they are blooming, honey. And I have a spring candle going. It is the Blooming Magnolia. How fitting. This video is all about the two cards that I feel have been put in a box when it comes to illustrators or tarot deck creators. And they just, most of the time, they can't get out of this box. So I will be using the Smith-Waite Centennial Edition to demonstrate these two cards. And then I have 8 different decks to showcase how the creators of these decks kind of interpreted or kind of went out of the box to create these cards per se. So the first one is the ever-loving Three of Swords. I love the Three of Swords. It has 3 swords stabbing a heart. It is a card about grief. It is a card about heartbreak. And it's about trauma. And it's about confronting that trauma. The other card is the Eight of Wands. So this is all about movement, going with the flow. And it's literally 8 wands in the sky. So these two cards, they've just really been put in a box that the majority of the decks out there. Let's dive into it. I'm super excited to talk about this. So the first deck I will be showcasing is the Out of Hand Tarot. This is an indie deck and it is actually out of print. So I am glad I was able to snag this. The Three of Swords here. We have a person who is doodling. They have tarot cards. They have music. It is raining outside. They have crumbled paper. And if you see here, the tattoo on their arm is the Three of Swords with the heart. This deck likes to do fun little connections to the traditional artwork. This is the bestest way I can get out of it. So it has the traditional artwork, but it has something different. This person is literally going through this heartbreak. They're going through this trauma. They're trying to get their mind off of it, but sometimes we really can't get our mind off of it. We have to face it, and that's kind of scary, folks. And then the Eight of Wands here. We have someone who is coloring. They are drawing. They are an artiste. So it has different rainbow color coming out. They're doodling. It's not the most out of the box, but it is something. It's just not eight different colors coming out of the sky. So I commend the artist for doing so. And of course, if I have any of these reviews about these decks, I will put it in the description box below so you can check those out. Now, some of these decks, I only have one card or the other because, they either have one card that is the traditional artwork and I'm not going to show it, or they kind of went out of the box. So in a case like this, I have the Golden Girls Tarot, which is out of print. You can buy knockoffs, but I suggest you not do that. This is the Three of Swords. So we have Dorothy here on the lanai. It's raining. She's not feeling her best, and she's really going through it. And her shirt or sweater has the heart with the Three of Swords. Again, it's not so out of the box, but it is something different, and I really appreciate that for this deck. The next deck I'm going to talk about is another indie deck, and that is the Tarot of Oneness. Oh, beautiful deck. Reminds me of the Spacious Tarot. The Three of Swords here. It's very different, folks. It has a shadow figure with, looks like this person may be looking at a mirror or of some sort, and their heart has been, it's shattered, and it looks like it shattered the mirror here. So it's kind of different. I really do enjoy this type of illustration when it comes to, having a different take of the Three of Swords. Going into the Eight of Wands, probably one of my favorite cards in this deck. It is very simple, but it speaks volume. It shows a winding road, and we're literally going for the ride. And that's a perfect example or interpretation of the Eight of Wands, because we don't have control. We are going where the flow is. In this case, we're going where the road is leading us, and there are no other turns. We're just going forward. We're going with the movement. Another deck that has a one or the other card that's kind of out of the box is the Lightseers Tarot, which I know lots of you out there know and love this deck. I love this deck. The Three of Swords here is probably one of my favorite Three of Swords ever. This person here is experiencing a very traumatic phase or moment in their life, and they are really expressing that. And the best thing about the Lightseers Tarot is that it's very expressive. And sometimes when we go through these moments in our lives, no matter how we try to, not express the way we feel, sometimes it's better to just let it go. Just scream, yell, cry, let it all out, because sometimes it does help folks. The next deck I'm going to show you is going to be the Shadowland Tarot. This is a deck I don't work with often, and I don't think I have a review of. But the Three of Swords here, it is very kooky. It's very different. This person is wearing the Three of Swords as a necklace, and they are wearing it proudly. Sometimes when we go through grief, where we can't help but to express that we're going through something, when we walk about in public and we going through something, and someone, they can tell that we're going through something. But as you can see here, this creature, this raven, this bird, they're wearing it on their sleeves, and they're acting like nothing's wrong. They're acting like a cool cat, and it's something different about the Three of Swords. Even though we're going through it, we have to push forward and just know that it is another phase in our life. And then here, the Eight of Wands, it's not too out of the box, but it is something different. And it looks like there's two witches, a witch and their cat, just dispersing spells or wands, what have you. It's all about that movement card, or that movement phase. So it's not out of the box, but I feel like this gets an honorable mention because it does something a little different. It has more than 8 wands. Then going into the Circuit du Tarot, not one of my favorite decks. I'll have to do a review on it, folks. The Three of Swords here, it's all about the way this deck works. It is a circus show, and it's all about performing the interpretations of the cards. So we have performers who are doing an acrobatic, and they're literally showcasing that trauma, that grief. And just going back to the Three of Swords in the Shadowland Tarot, this person is wearing it proudly, and they're acting like a cool cat. And here they're showing that we all go through these things, and we should, know that we're not alone when we go through these things. Before I get into, this won't come into many people's shock when I showcase this deck. Before I get into that deck, I did want to point out the Dark Mansion Tarot. The Three of Swords here. It's kind of like the Three of Swords, folks, but it has something a little different, and that's with the hairlock in the necklace. It gives us something a little more to pull from. We don't necessarily know if this, this event is someone who we lost, who's passed away, and we've held something like a memento from this person, and we're wearing this necklace as a memory of this person. So it kind of has a little something to pull else from rather than a sword, or 3 swords and a heart. And I also did want to point out the 8 of Wands. We do have 8 of Wands going through the sky, folks, but we have a person and their cat. This person actually looks like someone who is working at a postal service. So they're kind of like going through the wind, they're going through the motion. So it's just a little different. It has a character on it, so I really appreciate that, where the Eight of Wands is just 8 wands flying through the air. Folks, we have come to the last deck that I'm going to showcase, and many of you will not find this a surprise, but the Everyday Witch Tarot, my Grand Dame, has honestly the best versions of these two cards. So we have the Three of Swords. This is the three. Yeah. Oh my God. The Three of Swords here. We have the swords going into like a chocolate box. And then we have a bed here with a journal, with a old time ink utensil. And it's been spilled. So this person has been journaling. So what I get from this Three of Swords is that this person is not only going through something, but they're expressing it not verbally, but they're doing it creatively. You got it. And they're like letting it out that way. Sometimes we don't want to say the things out loud. So we've got like either journaling, and we'll just express it that way, that creativity. So I really like this interpretation. It's different. It's something I didn't really expect when it came to the Everyday Witch Tarot when I first got this deck. So I really, really enjoy this. The Eight of Wands, this is a very Wizard of Oz reference. So we have a witch here with their cat, and they have like this whole tornado illustration going on. It really, really reminds me of the Wizard of Oz. So it's all about that movement, and this witch, we don't really know if she's controlling the movement or she is, you know, trying to prevent the movement. But I really like how it's different. It has the 8 wands flying through the air, but she's holding on to one. So it kind of gives that illusion she's either controlling this or she's not. But she does have this kind of expression here that she's like, uh-oh, definitely not in Kansas anymore. It's going to be a bumpy ride, and she's going with that movement. So folks, these were the decks that I feel that kind of go outside of the box when it comes to the Three of Swords and the Eight of Wands. I would actually love to know if I missed any of your decks that you feel that would pertain to something like this, that the artists of those decks kind of went out of the box and kind of like went their own way when it came to the illustrations of these two cards that just seem to be stuck in this box, and it's just a easy way out to illustrate these two cards. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you're all doing well. I know it's been a minute, but I hope you enjoy the upcoming springtime, and I will see you in my next video. Take care.